Hello. Welcome. Welcome to Find Your Fridays. I hope you're having a great day. I've been messing around with my internet settings and stuff today, and quite clearly that has shown. So that's always fun and games. Alrighty, let me just get some of this nice background stuff sorted. Hello, Marit, and hello, Terry. I hope you're having a fabulous day. Oh gosh. See if I got that right. Yay! Apparently, I'm not a robot, so that's great. All right, let's jump back up into here for the moment. Hi, Edwina. Hello, sweet pea. How are you going today? Lovely to have you with us. We want to do that one, and we want to go wide. Nope. Tall and big. That's what we wanted. Yes. Love it. Everything's playing nicely now. That's good. It's nice when things play well. The technology doesn't always play well with me, but that's okay. These things happen. Come on. Maybe I jinxed it. Oops. Okay, there we go. Fabulous. So, come on. Gosh, Facebook is loving to be fun right now, isn't it? Come on. I know you want to. Yes, I do. Okay, let's enter that one. Nope. That's not what I want to do. Is that the one? Eek. I don't know if I did the right thing. Okay, I did the right thing. It's taken me to a very strange place, but that's okay. We got there. All right, cool. Hi, Melinda. Thank you all for finding me today on Saturday rather than a Friday. Melinda's well aware of this, but during the week, early on in the week, I think it was Tuesday, I what did I say? What's the words? I channeled. That's a good word. Kind of like what I do for you guys in the evening time, but I channeled a very specific healing for my book club, and it was very, very strong and very potent, and it held a lot of emotional energy alongside of it. And the very next day, I started to feel the burn in my lip. And by Thursday, it had popped up in the most massive cold sore I've had in a very, very, very long time. Even yesterday, Friday, it was still very, very big, and I was just feeling kind of a bit bleh. So sometimes that sort of thing happens. It's when you do a really, really big clearing, when you do a really big, deep healing, sometimes it's the energy has to find its way out of your body, especially if it's been locked in there for a really long time. And the area that I was tackling is something that Like, it was a clearing out of not only my lifetime, it was also clearing out all of my ancestral and past lifetimes interactions in romantic relationships, of sexual romantic relationships specifically. And there was a lot of energy there. And as a result, it meant that, there was a lot of stuff to release, including a lot of anger, suppressed anger. Because as we know, when it comes to cold sores, generally it's like, where are you not being listened to? Where do you feel like you're suppressing your voice? And certainly even within my previous relationships, there has been a lot of repression of my true voice and my heart, my desires, all of that sort of stuff. And the reason why I sort of thought it was a bit odd is because it just sort of didn't really match the stress levels that I'm at the moment. If anything, I'm actually a lot less stressed than I was. Like, there's a certain little moments, little pops of stress, but it wasn't like it was big, huge, like what happened with Tasmania. Now, with what happened in Tasmania, I had the teeniest, tiniest little cold sore. This was like 4 or 5 times that big. And it felt really deep, and it was like blistering, and it was so bad. And it was fast. So it's good to see that it's healing up. I haven't got quite so much of a fat lip today. Felt like I could actually talk. The pharmacist lady said, "Oh, it's the cold weather." And I'm like, I don't know about that. Terry just said it happens when you really run down. I don't really feel particularly run down, because last weekend I took time for myself. I was very, very low key last weekend. I did not leave the house from Thursday night through to Monday morning. I didn't even leave the house because I had a little bit of a stockpile of food, and so I just stayed home. So it's like I wasn't run down. I wasn't even dealing with a cough or cold or flu or anything last weekend. It was just I took time for myself. So, yeah. Interesting. There we go. So sometimes energetic healing does have those sorts of results. I actually heard from a client the other day. Her and I did a very, very deep clearing for her, healing and clearing. And she said the next day she felt like absolute rubbish, but she's been doing this work for long enough to understand what that was, and just allowed herself to rest and just flow through with it. And then by about the next day after that, so I think we may have done a session on a Friday. By Sunday, she was up, rip-roaring, ready to go for Monday. And when you do really deep stuff, that's not unusual. Not unusual to have those sorts of responses. So just having a look at this. Awesome, ladies. All right, what are we? The 27th today. Oh, it was my 16-year anniversary yesterday of moving to Australia. So the 26th of the 6th, 26 is my 16th year anniversary. How cool is that? What great numbers. So I really do feel like that's going to be a really, really good year coming up. I also saw on my odometer today 222 and 888. So that was my odometer in my personal car. So that's all about, abundance and financial abundance, and just also having a little bit of patience that everything is working out and everything is coming forward. So that was just kind of like everything that I've been sort of working towards gently and slowly is coming out in the wash. So that's really good news. And I'm really looking forward to seeing what the rest of this year and into this next year is going to hold for me. you guys, obviously, you're one of my most precious parts of my day and my week, which is why even though yesterday it was like, no, don't do the podcast today. And I was like, what if I do it tomorrow? And my body was like, yes, tomorrow. Yes, that sounds great. So thank you so much for choosing to move with me and have that little bit of patience with me too. So I'm really super grateful for you for that. So let me just write these little bits and bobs down. So I'd love to know, how has your guys' week been? Then we'll get into the reading for the week. Ooh, we've got a full moon coming up. Oh, yay. Oh, dear. I don't know about you guys, but I don't always love a full moon. It's a very potent time. It's a very potent time. I'm really grateful when I don't have a full have my bleed on a full moon, or a new moon for that matter. My body responds very strongly to those full and new moon energies, and it's not always that pleasant for me. So I have to remember to expand out a lot, like a lot during those times. Thank you so much for wishing me a happy birthday. Happy anniversary. Let me just save that one. So just before I go too much further, I wanted to show you all what I did finish last weekend. I haven't got a frame for it yet. I actually went for a look today, couldn't quite find anything that was quite right for it, so it's still waiting. But here we go. Here we go. Unfortunately, the light does kind of wash it out a little bit, but isn't that just so cool? Is that a bit better? Can you see that? So this is actually all made out of ribbon. All the pattern is made out of ribbon. So that's kind of cool, huh? So a very beautiful dear thank you to Terry. She's already seen a picture of it, and now I'm just waiting to get a shadow box for it. It's quite big. It's about a 40 centimeter size that I need, and everything I saw today was around 25 to 30, so wasn't quite right. But so yeah, I can't go. I really still need a little bit of gap around it and things like that. And I wish to have it in a shadow box, because it will be a clock, but a shadow box will mean that it won't get dusty. So I'd rather that than, because if I've got the clock pieces and stuff on it, then it's going to be too hard to clean. Like you can clean it with just like a lint roller. That works okay, but then you sort of got to try and work in and around the hands, and too hard basket. Thank you, everyone. Yeah, I love it. It's beautiful. There was a few little things that I changed on it. I changed the numbers from being gold to silver, because silver's more my jam anyway. I changed the little in-between numbers from being these little pink beads to being the PowerShell type beads, and they were flat rather than round. And what else did I change? I changed the way that they did the butterfly, and I changed the vines from being pink to a green, because it just felt a little bit better that way. And it just it all mushes in really nicely. So yeah, it's so cool. Like I was actually talking with a friend this week about how I have, since I've really started valuing me, I started doing stuff like that. where I make stuff and I actually make it for me to enjoy, to be kept by me and to be enjoyed by me. And because I know in the past I've made hundreds of things and they've gone off to other people. I made them for other people to enjoy. It's like, here you go, here you go, here you go. But then I'd go, well, what have I got around my house that I've made for me? And for a while there was very little. I'd made so much stuff and all I had was photos of these things that I'd made for other people, which is cool. It's neat that some of my handiwork's out there in the world. But yeah, since I started valuing me more, I started making things that I really love just for me. And it's been quite an interesting shift. I still love doing things for other people, of course. But yeah. All right, let's get on to our weekly reading. So I'm curious, who else in the chat here does anything crafty? I love sharing my craft with you guys, whether you like it or not. Because I'm proud of it. And it's okay to be proud of what you create. That's something that I think most of us maybe have been brought up in the thing of, oh, don't get too big-headed, or don't. It's like that whole tall poppy syndrome bull tickle. No, be proud. Be proud of the effort that you've done, Christine, doing my gardening, fantastic. I wish I had a little bit more patience, lower willingness to do gardening. I like big gardening, as in, just get a bush and trim it out. I'm not a fan of weeding. Weeding is not my thing. And I don't always have the right brain know-how in this lifetime anyway. I know I've had it in other lifetimes where I've known all about the soil and the formulas and how it fits really well together. And so it's there. It's in my soul knowledge on how to garden. Garden's just not quite as much. I get a lot of joy from gardens. I get a lot of joy of going out to my garden and going, ooh, so who's still alive? Who's still doing their thing out there? Oh, dear. Alrighty. Can you believe it? We're actually coming through to the last week in June already. I don't know. It feels like this month has just gone so fast. Christine, what's your favorite thing to garden? I'd love to know. Are you somebody that likes to do flowers or vegetables or fruit or that sort of thing? Ooh, irises. Wow, that challenging. I love that you love to plant. Sometimes it can be really super challenging here in South Australia with our weather and our soils and stuff to get, a nice lush garden going. So, I mean, that's where my kind of gardening works quite well because I love a good ground cover. And I've got this amazing bunch of alyssums, I think they're called. They're a fabulous ground cover, and it's because they self-seed once they get going. It's so imagine behind me here is this quite, it goes from the side to the side of the property, and in the middle of it is my washing line. So I've got like fake grass under that. But on a section that way, I've got just so we think it's split up into 1, 2, then the washing line, and then sort of 3, 4. So I've sort of got 4 separate beds out there, but it's all one, but it's split up by big bush things in the middle, like plants. And the one that's on the far that way, the far that way, that side also has a pathway that runs up the side of the house. And when I came back from Tassie and I ended up doing my weeding, I noticed that some of the alyssums had self-seeded going down the side of the house. And I'm like, oh, this is great, because I want them to. I didn't think about it at the time, but now that it's doing it, I'm so happy. So I'm just like, now when I weed, I just sort of pluck out the ones that I don't want, and I leave the alyssums there. But out the back, I have a pomegranate tree. I've got a couple of what are they? Lychees? Lychees? No, not lychees. Maybe they are a lychee. Can't remember. No, not lychee. Definitely not lychee. I can't remember what it's called, but it's another fruit that's kind of small like this, and it's orangey, but it's not citrus. And it's got a stone in the center of it. It's not like an apricot, and it's not a plum. It's got big, broad leaves. Maybe Melinda, you can help me because my brain is not braining on that one at the moment. And then down there, I've got guava trees that I've got access to. And right out the front, I've got a pomegranate persimmon tree. Locust, thank you. So I've got a couple of locust plants out there, or trees. One of them, when I first moved in, it was like cut right down really, really low. And that one has since been allowed to grow a bit bigger. And the other one was not cut so low, but it fruited last year. And so I'm sure it will fruited this summer, which is at the start of our year. And it'll fruit again. It had so many flowers. I saw like a week or so ago. So yeah, lovely. Thank you. I'm glad you understood my description, Melinda. See, there you go, Christine. Melinda is a fellow gardener like yourself. She's amazing. Hi, Catherine. All right. So this week for the collective, lovely little reading here is for the 28th through to the 3rd of July. So the 28th of June through to the 3rd of July. And there is something that I want to ask you guys, but I'm going to do... Cool. I'll just write it down so I remember to ask you guys afterwards. We can get onto this. So this one here, bearing in mind we have got that full moon happening on Monday, the 29th. This is full moon. And full moons, I would challenge you guys, if you don't already, take note of how your body responds, especially if you're female. And also male, but female especially, take note of how the full moon affects you. If it does, if it doesn't. Because I never really used to take notice of it. And then once I started actually taking more careful notice of how my body responds to different things and being more keenly aware and honoring of my body, I noticed that when it comes to a full moon, my body tends to slow down quite significantly. And then if I've got my moon time on top of that, yeah, trying to get me to do as much work as I do coming into a new moon, it just, my body is just so sluggish. It's almost like the energy is draining out of me for a full moon. So I find full moons to be a little bit challenging for me. And new moons, I find myself just get up and going, and I'm just like doing so much more work, and I can get through things a lot more quickly. And oh, it's great. And I find that my brain is like firing a lot, and it's like I'm really super creative. Whereas the full moon, I just kind of want to snuggle up at home. Doesn't matter the season. I don't care if it's the middle of summer, middle of winter. I just want to snuggle up at home and just take the day off. So, like, I can't see that happening this week, and I'd rather not actually. I've had enough time off for now. But oh dear. No, Mared, we have a really hot day turning into the afternoon, 85 degrees, and doing anything takes all of my effort. Gardening is difficult. Yes, I understand. What is 85 in degrees Celsius, please? Because we don't work in degrees Fahrenheit. We do degrees Celsius. I think that might be around 35, if I remember rightly. I might be wrongly. So, full moon, please take note of what that does for you. If you don't know already, take notice. Take notice of how do you feel today, being Saturday? How's your energy levels been like? How are they on Sunday? Then check in with yourself again on Monday. How have you been? And then have a look again on Tuesday. So over a 4-day span, so you've got sort of like your shadow period, and then the full moon, and then the shadow period afterwards, leading through to the end of the week. See how you feel. And when you start doing stuff like that, finding yourself then tuning in to how your body responds to its different hormonal levels and all that sort of stuff seems to all coincide really beautifully. And then it just kind of expands out gently from there. And then you start noticing more around you about when your body is saying, get the fuck out of here. And when it's going, ooh, I like this place. Can we stay for some more time, please? Like you just start to really honor and take notice of those energies a lot more. And there was a beautiful video I saw earlier this week around plants and how the guy who invented the polygraph actually hooked up sensors to plants, because what he just sort of did it for, kind of shits and giggles really to start off with. But then he realized that when he went to think about watering the plant, the sensors went, and when he thought, nah, actually I won't water that today, it would be like, and so he realized that we as humans, our thought energy goes out all over the place before we even realize what we're thinking. And it is picked up by things around us, including plants. So, hence the reason why I'm saying check in with yourself, see where you're at, and start being really honest with yourself about where is your energy at, what are you actually putting out there into the world, and take notice of how your body is responding to you, your thoughts, your environment, the people that you're around. It's all very, very, very up at this moment in time. Now, all of that is kind of like the prelim to these cards. I had a quick glance down, right? And the first one is leadership. So when you're in a place of leadership, that means you take responsibility and accountability for the things that are going on in your world, whether it be in a business sense, whether it be in relationship, whether it be with your friends, whether it be family, children, whatever. But wherever you sit, you are responsible for your part to play in whatever dynamics that might be. It doesn't mean that we're all leaders, but we are leaders within ourselves. And this week, you're going to be called to action. This week, you're going to be called to be even more highly accountable to yourself than perhaps what you ever have been before. And the way that this is going to show up, particularly towards Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, with that full moon, is it's going to be spotlighted on you. There's going to be possibly something that'll come up into you where you're going to be having to make some hard decisions. Or maybe not hard decisions, just, decisions that may affect other people, which means you have to be a little bit more aware of the overall outcomes. Okay. The next card that we have is career transition. However, what it says here is your life purpose is triggering a blessed career change. Now, I just wish to say to everybody, it doesn't mean that we're all going to get up and leave our jobs. What I get with this card is, because sometimes the spirit teams will just pick what is the closest to get the information or the door open. All right. So what I'm getting with this is that little bit about purpose. Within your leadership, you are going to find out this week what your purpose is. If you don't know it already, you're going to become a lot more clear about it this week. And that purpose could be something as simple as what I've got. My purpose is to bring peace and ease to the world, to those around me, firstly, bringing peace and ease to my world. And that doesn't mean I don't have challenges, and it doesn't mean the world doesn't have challenges. It means that I am here to help myself and others to have more ease, which is why when I'm on like my 9 to 5, Monday to Thursday job, my normal job, when I'm in jobs where I don't feel like I'm actually bringing anybody ease or peace, for example, it's maintenance, it's boring, it's whatever. When I'm not really there's nothing special in what I'm doing that's unique to what I can do for them, it doesn't bring me peace and ease. I feel a lot more resentful. And that was something for me to learn too. It was like, yeah, no, that kind of work just isn't my jam. Fine dusting, even though I can do it very well, it's not my jam. Give me the horrible mucky jobs where I'm actually being a massive contribution to someone's life and potentially their overall health and well-being and all that sort of stuff. That's the healer in me too, though. So finding your purpose, it might come through as something you kind of go, what? So I would highly recommend that on Monday night, you put out an ask to be shown your purpose or to know your purpose with absolute clarity. Because when I discovered the peace and ease thing, I went, oh, and that was only last year. It was almost this time last year. And I was like, duh. And everybody I said that to, well, yeah. And I'm like, nobody have told me this? All right. Now, interesting thing is that this card often comes up for me when I require some confirmation and encouragement. All right. So this card is the victory card. Okay. And it says, your prayers have been heard and answered. Have faith. That's me. Hey, Krish. Yeah. So with the victory card, if you've been praying for something, if you've been working really, really hard towards something, if you've had something that's been sitting in your heart for a long time, it might not be all the things at once, but it might be a victory on a step towards that. That'll feel like, oh, yay, we're actually getting somewhere. All right. So the full moon is very much a energy, right? It's probably why it makes me feel so tired. It's a very forward moving energy. And so I feel like this week we're going to make some big steps forward in whatever it is. It often secretly, we have all these little secret little hopes and dreams that we don't really talk to anybody about. It might be little things that are just bubbling away in the background. Maybe there's some little issues that have been sitting there that, you know, you're hoping to resolve or whatever, but haven't really spoken to anybody, but you've been pondering it. Those sorts of things might be moving out of the way this week. Okay. Otherwise, it's actually looking to be like a reasonable week. There might be some challenges in there for you in regards to being called out. And I say that with love, in that you might be called out to be more accountable for your actions or non-actions, as the case may be. Okay. So just be aware of that. It's not that they're attacking you. It's nothing to do with that. It's just your team shoving you forward a little bit to go, oi, yeah, this is something that you have to deal with now. And it might make you a little bit uncomfortable, but it's okay. Just sort of be humble, own up to whatever it is, and let it go. They'll move forward on it, whatever. So if there's that pile of washing that's sitting in the corner or on that chair that hasn't been folded yet, you might want to deal with it this weekend. Just saying. Hope is the yummy card word for this week. So fill your hearts with hope and everything will be all right. Everything will be all right. All right. So there we go. That's our weekly reading for everybody. Leadership, victory, and career transition. Okay. Let's see where else we go this week. Okay, Edwina. What is your question, my love? I tell you what, Melinda, when I figured out my purpose, I was like, and it came through in a couple of different ways within a few days. And one of them was I just did this stupid little test. I shouldn't call it stupid. This wee test. It was to find out my feminine archetype. And it was a free test, but I investigated a few different ones, and then I was like settled on this one particular one. It seemed to be a little bit more, extensive. And that was when I discovered that I was the mystic. And I was like, oh. And then everything else just went click, 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 click into place. And I went, wow, okay, that actually makes a hell of a lot of sense. And now that I put it in to the realms of the fix-it person, and the fix-it talents that I have, that fits as well. It fits in with the mystic, because the mystic is about teaching people and sharing knowledge, and the fix-it side of me does that too. So yeah, I love teaching people how to do different things in their home. And like the other day, I think, what was it? I shared a video that somebody shared with me of, you know, the screen doors when they open and they have the little, this might be just an Australia thing. Because when I thought about it, I shared it with one of my friends in New Zealand, and she's like, I've never had a door like that in my entire life, but if I do, I now know how to do it. Because even in New Zealand, we don't really have fly screens, but we have fly screens here in Aussie. So it might be an Aussie thing. But you know the screen door, and they have the barrel at the top, and it has this funny little tab that forever you thought that you had to open up the door to make the door stay open. You had to open up the door and slide the little tab all the way across to the barrel. No, you don't. You only slide the tab across, and then it's got this little lip, and you flip it round so it's towards the door, and the little tab is supposed to catch on the frame of the door, of the outside frame of the actual door. And that's what holds it in place. Oh my fucking God. And nobody I've shared it with has said, I already knew that. Nobody. And I'm like, wow. Somebody missed something in the manufacturer's instructions, I think. So there we go. Fun things we learn along the way. Okay, Edwina's team. Oh, hello. Hi. Oh, you guys just made my cheeks blush. Melinda, yep, blew me away when I watched it. Been doing it wrong for all years. I know. Oh. And now I know. And see, now I've spoken about it a couple of times. It'll be stuck in my brains. So let me just jump that up there. Whew, let us have a look. The funniest thing is that I've installed 2 of those thingies and still didn't even click. But there is another one for you. Which card deck is that from, please? You're going going to have a very fascinating week, my dear. I can just tell from the card decks that have come out. Oh, dear. Let's see. Which one is it from here, please? Oh, lots of energy moving, that's for sure. Lots and lots of energy moving. That's always a good thing. Oh boy. Oh lordy. Okay. Seriously, your team is so funny. Oh, darling. I'm actually going to start with the. Which way do you want me to? No, they want me to pull it. Read it as I pulled it. Okay. The last card is really funny though. So I just whatever happens over the next 3 cards, just wait. The last one's a pearler. Okay. Oh dear. So the reason why I said that you've got some big stuff happening this week, or some very big healing stuff happening this week, and I highly recommend you gain some support for that. Whether that be, you can do by support. I mean, even if you listen to some guided meditations or something like that to help you move through it, do some journaling, do some breath work, connecting in with Mother Earth, Father Sky. Support doesn't necessarily have to be from a healer. It's more about taking time for yourself so that you can actually process the stuff that's coming through. The more you do that, the more you actively do that, the easier it will be to process, okay? And then you won't end up with big, huge fucking cold sores, which when they're released, because you've been holding on to energy from pretty much all your bloody life. And then you be really smart and you release all of your family, your ancestral stuff that's in your body, and then you release all of your spiritual stuff that's in your body all at the same time. Yeah, don't do that. Well, you can. It's up to you. It's up to you. But anyway, so the first one we've got is the Ancestral Healing Oracle from good old Ina. We love a bit of Ina. And then your last card is from the Deadly Apothecary Oracle. Okay, so just there's a lot to come out. All right, so this is your first one. Okay, and this is learn from your family patterns, ask important questions. Your family will have its own set of patterns that can limit you and hold you back. When you recognize the patterns your tribe experienced, you can start to ask questions and consciously choose what you invest your time and energy in. Your challenges could be around health, finance, weight, relationships, career, and so on. What are the traumas or losses your ancestors experienced that they never talked about openly? If you tune into yourself, do you carry any heaviness, fears, or emotions that you can't pinpoint? The time has come for you to let go of anything from your tribe that is no longer moving you in a healthy, empowering direction. You may need to ask questions, understand the past, and gain wisdom from what your family members have experienced. However, you do not need to repeat their trials. I think we will do the healing practice for this one in our meditation tonight. Okay? with this one though, what I'm getting specifically for you is to have a look back at the patterns. As it said, learn from the family patterns. It might not be something that is repeated all the time, but it might be something that is repeated sometimes. And when you take those moments and as they pop up over the years, you sort of go, oh, actually, I see that, and I see how it's affected me, and I can actually, wow. I had one of those moments for me this week, and it was around my brother, and how so many things happened when he was just so little, like he was about between 4 and 5, and I'm 2.5 years older than him, so I was like 6, 7.5, that sort of that age group. And in my 7-year-old brain, I was just wanting a rest from him. And then he wanted to connect with me because I helped him feel safe. And when I pushed him away, like especially once he started school, he felt rejected. And so this is where I was the one that caused the harm. And so then in the end, he has rejected me because in his mind, I rejected him first. And that's what I'm saying. Have a look at the patterns. That's the very short version of that story. Have a look at the patterns within your family, though. Have a look at the patterns of your female ancestors, how they interacted with the people around them, family members, partners. Have a look at how they interacted with the children. Have a look at like my grandmother, my mum's mum. She was somebody who, when she was out and about and out in the community, she was bright, she was loving, she was kind, she was very, very helpful, she was bubbly and all of that sort of stuff. She'd come home and she would turn into this pain in the bum, didn't listen to anyone, controlling beyond all beyond all imagination, and didn't really seem to give a shit about anybody but herself. And that's sort of how we felt about it. But it was like, to the people out in the community, she was completely different. And so look at those sorts of patterns. Where are you repeating those sorts of patterns too? Because that's obviously something that's going to come up for you this week, that it's time to have a look at that. Okay. And it might be something small. It might be something big. Doesn't matter. Just take note of it and see if you can actually fix that one. So for me, in the relation to my brother, what I intend to do tomorrow is to actually sit down, because there's another card that I have to do, and I'm going to sit down and write him an apology letter and explain to him that from my 7.5-year-old self, I'm very sorry. I'm sorry about, rejecting him at that age, and that it was hard for either of us to understand what was going on at that time. There was the splitting up of our family. Like our parents split up, we moved house. So we went to I went to a completely different school. And everything was different over those years. And over that year or so before he started school. And so he was feeling his whole life had been in an upheaval. And then our little baby brother came along at the same time as all of that was going on. So he was then booted out of being the littlest one into the middle. And there was just so much going on, so much. And I really feel for him. I wish in some ways that he could have had an easier time with it. But I also see how that rejection energy has been passed down genetically into his daughter. And when his daughter was triggered by me, she upnamed the rejection very, very easily with her. And I was like, ooh, I realize now I did that. I started that process. And that doesn't feel good. So there is definitely an apology to come from me to my brother. And even if he reads it and then burns it and doesn't have any contact, that's okay. But at least then I've done, the first step towards a little bit of softening of the edges over there. So yes, have a look at your patterns. What have you picked up from your family that might not be serving you so well? And the reason why I told you all of that, all of that, is that we're not perfect. We have all made mistakes. We have all done things for different reasons, whether it's just, you're young and you're self-centered. And I mean self-centered because your world is so small. Whether it be for self-protection or whatever it might be. But there will be moments in life where you've made mistakes. It's all part of the learning, and it's okay. It's okay to do that, to learn, that is. Not to keep repeating the same mistakes, but to learn from it. But the only way you really learn is by making those mistakes, and then you can course correct. It's okay. But be honest with yourself. If not those around you. The next card that you have got is Embrace Healing Perspectives, Let Go of Past Pain. So this is adding on to that first card of learning from your family patterns. Understanding what your ancestors went through can help you identify emotional issues and anxiety that you may have experienced. Take note of that. What have you picked up from your family's perspective where it's encouraged your anxiety? Physical issues that appear in the back of your body, in particular around the kidneys, adrenals, and mid and lower back, can represent unprocessed pain from your forebears. If any blood disorders appear, it can indicate that you need to understand your family story. It is important that you start to separate your challenges from those you subconsciously took on from your predecessors. However, to release the trauma you might be holding, you need to first discover their story. You might be surprised to observe certain similarities in your own life, things that you went through not knowing that you were repeating an old model. It's time to identify these family patterns and release what is no longer working for you and put energy into creating new ways of operating. Okay? So the healing practice for this one, you need to do some research. Who in your family do you most identify with? What aspects of their personality do you like, and do you have some of those? What aspects are challenging, and do you have those? Why did you take those behaviors on board? And what beliefs or experiences are they connected with? This is great journaling questions for everybody, not just Edwina. Did you see your parents, grandparents, aunts, or uncles behave in a certain way? Did you reject certain feminine or masculine characteristics because you didn't like what you saw? Can you recognize what is not yours and doesn't serve you and look for examples that are more inspirational and helpful? So, for example, that previous one of did you reject certain feminine or masculine characteristics because you didn't like what you saw? Now, I'm seeing and having spoken to a few young men who go by the pronouns they, them. The reason why they are doing that is because they have been shown the examples by, either their father or their mother's partners that men are horrible, lazy, violent, mentally, physically abusive people, and they don't want to be associated with that. They don't wish to be called a man if that's what a man does. And so because they're obviously they still identify as being somebody who's attracted to females, they've shifted their pronouns to be they, them, rather than he, him. Because he, him is too close to the man figure that they saw growing up, the male figure. For me, as a female, I struggled heaps with working with women when I was in my 20s and 30s. And that was because, for me, females had, like, the examples that had been set for me from home was that women were horrible, backstabbing, controlling, narcissistic, gaslighting, guilt-tripping, creatures that liked nothing more than making people feel awful enough to do the things that they wanted them to do. And that was the example of female that I had growing up. And so I was like, oof, well, I'm not choosing that for me, but I wouldn't put it past anybody doing that for them. So have a look at where are you sitting with all of those sorts of things. And if you're pushing away a lot of your feminine aspects, because I am speaking to a female, ask some questions. What is that about? Where in my family have I decided that that's actually not good for me? When in fact it was probably good for you, but in a lesser degree or in a slightly different way. Like that, I can say now, for me, looking back at the women in my family, the one thing they got really right was their levels of confidence. They have, because they're not dead, they have incredible confidence out in public. My dad's mum, on the other hand, she was very quietly confident. And she was just very sure of herself and what she did in her own home and all that sort of stuff. She was more of a homemaker. And in all honesty, I actually feel probably a lot more like my dad's mum, with all the creative aspects of my mum. But if you were to put me on my grandma Pam's property, I would be in heaven. Absolute heaven. Because it was out on the farm. It was really nice. And there was hardly anybody around. It was great. Absolutely great. So yes, embracing your healing perspectives. Get some clarity about where your shit comes from, essentially, is what that was saying. Understand your karmic lessons. Oh. Embrace opportunities to evolve. Your closest family members have experienced several lifetimes with you. There are lessons that all of you have come here to learn. Even your most painful encounters offer you a profound opportunity for growth and healing. Karma means that you may have previously experienced challenging situations with others that need to be resolved, and that there are circumstances that are coming up that require attention. You need to face someone in your family, and this encounter may not be easy, but it is necessary for you to grow and move forward. An important piece of information that can help you understand a family situation is about to come to the surface. This may occur from you speaking with someone, or a piece of a puzzle may appear in a dream or during a healing process. You may even receive a message from someone who has passed over. You may need to do some ancestral healing in order to understand the situation at hand. Your ability to regain your confidence and do something extraordinary depends on you changing your perspective of your childhood, as well as a painful encounter with a family member. You may need to act selflessly from a place of wisdom in order to turn something toxic into something beautiful and healing. So the healing practice for this one is reflect on who in your family you are challenged by and why. What have they done that you found unacceptable? Are you able to put yourself in their shoes and discover another point of view? What caused them to behave the way that they did? Explore whether or not your expectations are realistic based on what this person has demonstrated they are capable of. Take the opportunity to learn more about your family and their background, which might give you the insight you need to heal and move forward. Okay, so this is going to be a process that's going to be really enlightening for you, and it'll be something that'll be similar to what I've just experienced with my whole brother stuff. And in that, as an adult, we build upon the story. But when we jump back, so like I said, when I thought back to that rejection energy of my brother, and I looked at he's fully blocked me on Facebook and all, right? So when I stopped and did the Ho'oponopono on that, but I also looked at it as, where have I been that energy towards him? And that's when it started to click. So have a look at that person who you sort of feel wonky, weird, crunchy with, and what energy is there? What emotion is locked up in that for you? And then reflect it back to yourself and go, okay, so what energy or where have I been at towards them? Now, if you're sitting there going, but I don't think I ever have been, that's when you start asking those sort of big questions of like truth. Did I do something to them in another lifetime? And this is where the karmic stuff comes from. Because sometimes it's something that we have done in another lifetime that we have to work out in this lifetime. Because again, we like to think that we're all lovely and angelic, that none of us have done anything wrong to anybody else. But I'm afraid to tell you that you probably have. You've probably been that awful, nasty person in another lifetime, because we're here to experience all of the things. In this lifetime, though, for the people that tend to come here and enjoy the space, we are on the more gentler side of life. We are on the more gentler side of being. And we're here to do a hell of a lot of healing, not only of our lifetimes, but this life, but the other lifetimes as well, including our ancestral. So have a look at that for yourself. You've got a big week coming forward. All right. Now for the card that made me cry, cry with laughter. Oh dear. So this kind of sums up your week and why you're doing all the work that you're going to be doing. Okay? It is the black hellebore, okay, which says drop the drama. So the botanical name is Helleborus niger. The energy is narcotic, mystic, and pure. The other names are Christ herb, Christmas rose, or melampode. The traditional or medicinal uses, the black root was dried and powdered to treat hysteria and calm strong emotions. The magical and historical uses, in folk magic, casting the powdered root into the air was thought to render a person invisible. Ooh. The poison. For hellebore, strong emotions act like a narcotic. They are addicted to the drama. Hellebore lurches from self-created crisis to crisis, never really enjoying peace and calm. They center themselves in every tragedy, enjoying the attention, and are dependent on powerful emotions to make them feel energized. If life is getting a bit dull and quiet, hellebore will create a commotion just so that they can feel alive again. The antidote. Intense emotions are something we've been gifted with to help us focus on what we wish to manifest. The heady feeling of strong emotions can be addictive and is one of our huge lessons on earth. Do not confuse passion and intensity with aliveness when these strong feelings are used to feed a habit and garner attention. Hellebore can drop the drama this time around. Okay. So let's just say when you live in a small country place, people get very addicted to rumors and they latch on to the drama, something wicked. And it can get it can be very easy to fall into the crowd with that and then bring it home, to bring that kind of flow home. And so when it's said to drop the drama, I had to crack up laughing because it's like we're talking heaps about family stuff in your other three cards, right? So how much drama are you feeding into with the family stuff, whether it be your current family, whether it be your family of origin, whatever it is, that you're adding to with your energy, with always trying to nitpick or the maybe not treating yourself with as much kindness as what you could be, which adds to the drama, because then you feel like you're not appreciated and you're not listened to and all that sort of stuff. But how much are you appreciating and listening to yourself? And that's what I say. It's always about the reflection back. You've got to look back at yourself. Where am I not being that for me? And that is one of the biggest things that us women have to learn. It's like we have to come back to that place of where can I be that energy for me? Where can I be that confidence for me? Where am I trying to outsource that so that I can gain it when it's already in here? You've already lived in many, many amazing, challenging, awesome, horrible, the good, the bad, the ugly lifetimes. You've lived it all. And you've still made it through this lifetime. You've made it through the worst of every day you've had so far. And you're still fucking here. And you're still doing an amazing thing. So, which is getting up every day and breathing and living on this wonderful, wonderful earth. So just take a breath. And when you feel yourself dropping into the criticism, the judgment, the drama llama, the rehashing the story over and over again of the same incident that happened, months, if not years ago, unless it's to do something like, oh shit, wow, and you get some clarity and some healing around that. If it's not creating clarity and healing, it's not worth your time and energy. Put your time and energy into something that's going to feel nice and light and build you up and build your confidence and make you sparkle and light you up. That's why I show you guys my craft work and stuff that I've been doing, because it lights me up. It makes me feel good. And then you guys get to see that in me. And then I get to share that with you. And then it becomes all this lovely, lovely thing. So, yes, learn from your family patterns, okay? You've got some really cool questions and stuff to ask in your journaling. Super cool. What are your dreams? And also I'm hearing, pay attention to your dreams this week. Pay attention to your dreams. When you wake up, if you've been dreaming overnight and you're in that funny space, even if you send a friend a voice message talking about your dream that you can then hopefully remember or at least listen back to later, and then sort of look at that. What does that actually mean? Maybe do some research around it. And that will give you some more clues as to what you are, sorry, into some clues. There was some energy that was shifting there. It's like, oh, I love it. Just sort of like sneaks up on me out of nowhere. And it's like, whoop, just move some energy. All right. But yes, overall, drop the drama. Don't be a drama llama. Somebody gave me a cup, but then it was quite ironic because that person was actually creating lots of the drama for me. Oh, dear. Thank you so, so much, Edwina. I'm super duper grateful for you and grateful for your incredibly kind and generous donation. I'm so grateful for you. Find You Fridays is grateful for you. And without you guys doing these donations, you guys literally keep the show running. Because, yeah, it's a beautiful thing, and I'm grateful for you. Because all this stuff costs money, So I am very, very grateful for the donations, and they come in. Thank you. And I hope that helps. All right. Christine, my dear. So I'm just going to put a pin in this one for us so we can come back to that one for our reading later on. Our meditation, rather. Always like to be inspired. Talking about meditations, if you have not noticed, the meditations over on YouTube, the meditations folder is continuing to grow. And every Monday and Wednesday, a meditation has been released. And you're welcome, darling. So welcome. So yes, meditations are being released on a Monday and a Wednesday at the moment, and I'm enjoying doing them, and it's good stuff. As I go back over, so the ones that are being released at the moment are from season 3. We're currently in season 4. So the ones that they're ones from a wee while back, you've probably forgotten about them. Especially if you haven't been here for long or whatever, or maybe you don't always stay to see the meditations. So this is a really lovely way for you to just like tune into which meditation you would like to have a little listen to. So I've just popped the link up there for you to have a look at. So if you're ever feeling like, oh, I think I could do with an extra little bit of healing around something, I'm not entirely sure what, have a look at that meditations playlist, because there are quite a few there now. Let me just have a quick look. Oh, it's hard for me to tell actually, because some of them won't have been released. There's about 30 odd sitting in there now. Okay, so that's exciting. And that's something that I had in my plans for a long time, and it's happening. So there's plenty there. Somebody said to me the other day, what sort of things do you meditate on? Like what sort of topics and things? And I'm like, oh gosh, they go all over the place. But generally healing for the body, but coming at it from all sorts of different aspects. So, and she's like, oh wow, that sounds really cool. And I listed off a few of them off the top of my head, which was really cool. All right. Let us have a look at Christine's question. Cool bananas. Yesterday, my lower ab stomach hurting, holding energy. Tried with the ocean letting go, and something it came back. Guidance is what that is all about. Aha, righty-ho. Oh, I really want to put on my heater, but I can't because it's too noisy. What have I got behind me? Hang on a second, guys. Ooh, yay, I've got a blanket back there. Hang on. Here we go. My leggies are getting a little bit cold. That's winter for you. Lovely. Oh, thank you, Terry. I know you've been loving the meditations. I appreciate it. I love all your little comments that come up. It's so good. I love it. I love it. All right. All right. All right. Okay, Christine. I would highly recommend that you have a look at your Secret Language of Your Body book by Ina Segal. For those of you who do not have it, so I had the previous version of this book. I've still got it. It is a brilliant book. It is like a lot of people either go with Ina Segal or they'll do Louise Hay. Now, I do have Louise Hay as well. I have played with her book a little bit, but I find Ina Segal's book to be just so much more in depth, and if you follow it correctly. Okay, so for example, we have the stomach here. Okay, and through here on the stomach, so it goes for a little blurb that talks about, you know, the general stuff, that's what's going on. There's a remedy, and then right at the end here it goes emotions to work with, and then the colors to work with. So what you can do is use your awareness and you go, okay, so which one pings the most, right? So for Christine, what I get when I tune in is, so the emotions to work with are stuckness, control, rejection, and attack. With her, the biggest ping on this one is about control. Okay. And the colors to work with, green, yellow, blue, and I get blue for Christine. Okay, so that's as a healer, that's what I'm tuning into at the moment for her. Now, the remedy is really good. Like, it doesn't matter which remedy, but then you go to the different parts of the book near, like in the back half, where it deals with stuckness. So let's have a look at stuckness. Stuckness, which is on 209. So then the stuckness has the same thing, where it's got the blurb at the top, releasing the stuckness, the process, and then near the bottom it says to do, in order to create more flexibility in your life, do the flexibility and movement process on page 192. So then we go to page 192 and then we do that process. Okay, this is how you work with the book and how you can get the most in-depth healings right here at home. It's not just about doing that first part of dealing with the body part. You really do have to follow it through and deal with these other parts as well. If you're being really thorough, say, for example, the emotions to work with initially were stuckness, control, rejection, and attack, do all of them. Follow it through for all of those. And then do all the colors. Now, because we don't have an hour to sit here with Christine, we have other people wishing to have their things seen to as well. So Christine, I'm pretty sure you've got this book now. So that's how I would recommend that you deal with it. Your other one, control and stuckness, are actually your two top ones. Okay, that's what I'm getting for you. The other two are still relevant given your situation, but I get that that's where you're going. Okay, so let's have a look at blue. Blue, blue, blue. There's a lovely section right at the back about the secret language of our body systems, where it's talking about the lymphatic system, the muscular system, the nervous system, the urinary system, you know, and it's got some excellent pictures of the organs and stuff like that, which is just amazing. Such beautiful images. Without, see, pretty images, lovely. Blue is what I'm after, which is in section 4. Blue, blue, blue. Bearing in mind that too much blue Wearing too much blue can actually have a negative effect. So if you have too much blue, that could leave you cold, tired, depressed, and sorrowful. If you suffer from poor circulation, chest infections, asthma, colds, hyperventilation, paralysis, or want to lose weight, reduce your exposure to blue. Just to let you know. Blue can help to treat problems such as itching, cataracts, glaucoma, bowel problems, burns, diarrhea, epilepsy, hysteria, laryngitis, painful periods, heart palpitations, high blood pressure, headaches, rheumatism, shock, teeth problems, throat problems, ulcers, varicose veins, and sunstroke. So there we go. How cool is that? Blue assists with detoxifying and clearing skin problems. It also helps to bring blood back to normal when it's inflamed or overreactive. Blue has a calming effect when people feel nervous, manic, or overexcited. It can help an introverted person to come out of hiding. Okay. It's a color of patience, faith, acceptance, forgiveness, and independence. Okay. So as far as your stomach and everything, darling, I highly recommend that on page 112 is the page for the stomach, and please do that process. Okay. It is, I'm not going to go into that here because we just don't have enough time, and it's something that really has to be done in a private sense, away from everybody else. And the way that, when you do a private session, it's good because then you get the feedback straight away of what's going on for the other person. And if I require to slow down, then I can do that because I've got the video there of working through it. Okay. Why do you need Facebook, Terry? I don't understand. The meditations are on YouTube, not Facebook. So that's all good. In the meantime, though, I am going to pull some cards for you, a couple of cards for you, Christine. And then Marit, you'll be next, darling. Safe to say, Christine, your body is sending you some very, very loud messages right now. And it's all to do with your environment and the people that you have around you right now. Your body is telling you loud and clear how it's feeling. And it's not something... I'll go back to the story of when I was getting a lot of chest infections, laryngitis, bronchitis, and my doctor was getting very concerned because, I said to him, I'm a non-smoker. And that's true. I am a non-smoker. Never smoked in my life, except for that one puff when I was 4 years old. And he's getting really, really concerned because I kept coming up with all these chest infections and laryngitis and bronchitis, and it was like, he was getting really worried because he was having to prescribe me a lot of antibiotics, and he didn't want to. And so he said, look, after you get over this latest bout, I'm going to have to send you off to get a lung capacity test. And I said, why? And he goes, I think you're developing asthma. And I was like, no, I'm not developing asthma. And he looked at me and was like, what? And this is before I really got heavy into my energy healing side of things. And in fact, I was only really dabbling in it basically with Ina, little bits here and there. And he said, what do you mean? And I said, I don't need to have a lung capacity test. I have to change my environment. I'm currently living with a chain smoking person who wakes up with PTSD, night terrors, at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning and sits in the lounge room and chain smokes. And when I get up in the morning, a couple of hours later, there's smoke halfway down the room. So like my head is fully in the smoke haze. The environment was hurting my health. Now that's a pretty obvious one, right? When I think back to my first marriage, and I was married to a gaslighting narcissist with borderline personality disorder, probably what in more modern terms you would say is a Machiavellian personality type. And with that relationship, my body showed me it was so unhappy in so many ways, in that my eyesight was wobbly. I was having to wear glasses all the time. I would get urinary infections a lot. I would get thrush a lot. I would get cold sores a lot. I put on heaps of weight. Headaches a lot. All these things. And then really to top it off was when I got a middle ear infection that gave me vertigo for nearly a month. That was like the biggest one of all. My back would go out a lot during that first marriage too. I just thought about that. So that's not as obvious as, like, the impact was not as obvious as it was when I was living in the house with the smoker. But the body was always speaking. And when you're younger, it's easier to ignore. When you get older, it's not so easy to ignore it anymore. So take note, okay? Your body is being amazing, and please appreciate it, because it's trying to tell you where it's not happy. And it's your environment that is making it not happy. It's who you got around you right now. All right. So we've got the Heal Yourself Oracle. And your first card that's coming out that you require to know about is pride. You may be acting out of arrogance and vanity. Humility is the key. When you are prideful, you can become harsh and not conscious of your weaknesses. This can temporarily make you feel more powerful and superior to others, whilst at the same time cause you to be judgmental, unteachable, and hardened. Have you been fighting, quarreling, and disagreeing with others? Are you always trying to prove a point and defend your position? Do you think that you are always right? By holding on to shadow pride, you are stopping yourself from progressing mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. Stop overestimating your importance and learn to be humble. When you are too proud, you cannot hear other people's advice and cannot receive their assistance. Empowerment means that you can be soft, caring, aware, and gentle. Recognize that you need other people's support to achieve true success. Your action: take some time during the day to relax. Lie down if possible and look carefully at this card. Just pop it into your brain. How does it make you feel? How do you relate to it? Ask yourself, where am I attached to a false sense of who I am? And Where have I overestimated my abilities or charged ahead unprepared for the challenges that I face? Where in the past has a sense of pride led me to a fall? Instead of taking this personally, now is your opportunity to feel and express your willingness to release any pride that has held you back, and doing so, become more teachable. If you have hurt other people, consider apologizing and being more thoughtful. Okay? Now I can honestly say, in my first marriage, I was full of pride. The pride that this shadow pride that they're talking about. Full of it. Because there was no way I wanted to be another divorce statistic in my family. So instead of listening to my body and my family, because they didn't like him, they didn't like the way he treated me, I was like, no, I'm gonna marry him anyway. I'm gonna make it all good. I'll show you. I don't need your help. And I became super controlling in my own environments where I could be. I became an absolute neat freak. And it was not particularly pleasant always for people to be around me. I'm surprised I have any friends from that time at all, to be honest. I do. But they were the people that could see through all the pain. So for that, I'm grateful. All right, just take some tips from somebody who's been there. I'm curious to see where this next card comes in. All right, this card here, selling out. Your integrity and inner strength are being severely tested. You have an opportunity to act with either fear or love. Where in your life are you selling out or acting out of integrity? Are you in a job you hate? Are you living in a toxic environment and making yourself sick in the pursuit of financial security? This card asks you to find the courage to stand up for your convictions and take steps towards doing what you love. Selling out is linked to the shadow aspect of the prostitute archetype. When you connect to this archetype, you can examine your fears around survival, power, responsibility, and success. On the light side, the prostitute can lead you to freedom, self-expression, choice, and love. Your action: you have made a choice about whether you will use your power, talents, and abilities for selfishness and exploitation, or the higher good. Take a few deep breaths and focus on your body. Become conscious of where in your body you feel like you are losing your energy and your power. Place your hands on that part of your body. Visualize your prostitute archetype. It can look similar to this card or a darker version of you. Ask this archetype to show you where in your life you are selling out. Become aware of how this affects various areas of your life and your physical and emotional health. Ask your prostitute aspect to help you regain your inner strength and make empowering decisions. So this is where your dark side, your shadow self side, those parts, they are asking, this is actually a fabulous time for you to integrate a lot of those shadow aspects, the parts of you that are coming up really, really big right now. the pride and this selling out thing and all that. That is like, this whole situation here is really leading you towards a fabulous, incredible upgrade. The only thing is, the only person that can do this upgrade for you is you. You're the one that has to create the environment where the upgrade can happen with way more ease. Right now, you're getting all these foundational blocks that are coming in, these foundational steps that are coming in right now, thick and fast for you. And I actually had a conversation about this during the week of, it's like, my greatest, some of my greatest upgrades have happened either sort of around the time I've had a relationship that hasn't worked out. And it's like that relationship has opened up the gates for me to be able to do my next upgrade, right? And because there's a part of me that is just so bright that this is a whole concept that's actually too big for this right now. All right. So basically, where you're at right now, you are gathering so much fucking energy, so much lightness, so much brightness, that if you don't change things in your environment really soon, when you explode and crash with all your energy onto that shore, onto the beach shore, imagine it, your energy is gathering like the big, huge wave, and it's pulling away, right? It's gathering, and you're just getting more and more full, right? Which is why parts of your body are like going, can't do this too much more. If you don't change things in your environment, if you don't make it easier for you when you come back through for your upgrade, there's going to be a lot of fallout, and it's not going to be very pleasant for anybody. So, and it's not to say that when we do upgrades, it has to be by ourselves, but often in my life, it is. There have been very few upgrades that I've actually done while with a partner. And that doesn't mean it's the same for you, but what I am getting here is like, you've got all of this energy and it's building and it's building and it's building. And unfortunately, if you don't make your home be the safe, nurturing place it requires to be, given how much energy has been building, when you do come through, when that energy is finally released, it's going to impact really heavy on you. Okay? It's going to mirror back to you massively. And you might find yourself in a position where your body is just kind of short circuits for a while. So it's a bit of a heads up for you, my love. You are one very incredible, potent, powerful being. And yeah, with that comes the responsibility of when you do your upgrades. And we don't have control over those, I'm afraid. Your higher self does. And it's necessary. Hi, Nella. Yes. I'm good, thank you. An answer to your question? Yes. Woo-wee. Christine, you still have hope. Okay? Everything will be okay. But you have to take some big, bold steps. Thank you, Christine, for your donation. I'm so super grateful for you. And I really, my heart goes out to you right now. I know you're going through a lot, and prioritize you. Okay. You, your health, your finances, your home, everything. Everything. Right. Maritz. All right, let's see. I would like guidance in regards to popping up at my auntie's place next week without telling her to book a hotel. Ooh. And then after a couple of days, heading alone to a cabin in the lake. Would that work? Ooh. What a cool idea. It's so funny. As you guys know, I'm going to Canada. And I'm going to Canada in 40 days. Exciting. It's so funny though, because I'm like, I feel like I wish to have a little mini break before my break. And I'm like, oh, you're so cute, Lorene. And then, yeah, I've had a couple of what we call short weeks because of sickness, and then because I had that lovely big huge upgrade that was happening that got wrapped up into a head cold and all sorts of things. So I had 2 long weekends, but I didn't do anything. Oh dear. So yes, I love the idea of going to the lake, but let's have a look. Terry, you're very cute too. No, it would actually be a trip for me by myself. I think to just have some quiet time, and not be at my house and not be around other people. I don't know. But it's okay. Okie dokie. Show me a yes. We've got some lovely rose quartz here with the gift of some amethyst at the top. And the amethyst actually came off a bracelet that our very dear Find You Fridays crew member, Tony, who passed away, it came from a bracelet she made for me. And this rose quartz piece came from my trip to New Zealand. Gosh, it's nearly 2 years ago now, because it wasn't last year, it was the year before. So both of those actually came from that trip, but from 2 different things. And I just put the 2 together. So nice bit of love. This is one of my pendulums that is just absolutely full of self-love. All right, so yes, and please show me a no. Beautiful. Thank you, Nella. Heard the little ding come through. All right. So, Truth, what will it create if Marit goes to her auntie's place next week and books a hotel? That's a yes. It was just serendipitous timing. And then truth, what will it create if Marat then goes off alone to a cabin at the lake? That's a lovely big yes. Absolutely. Do it. Yes to both. Oh, jeepers. I'm dropping things on the floor now. All right, and there is a little something for you to work on. So let me have a look in the quick card here. Ooh, looks like the room might be coming out soon. Ooh, interesting. Now this is one that you won't want to hear. Because here's the funny thing. There's a point in our consciousness journey that I hear a lot of people go through, and I know I've done it myself. Not really, but sort of. In that I've always said, always, that like even when I did self-reviews back in my 20s and stuff, and they'd go, well, why didn't you give yourself a 10 out of 10? And I said, because there's always room for improvement. I can always learn something. I can always, somebody else might have a better way of doing something, in which case, cool. I can learn and do a more efficient, better, easier way of doing something. I can always learn. So I will never give myself 10 out of 10 of anything. In fact, I'll never give anybody really a 10 out of 10 when it comes to that sort of thing. Because, you know, like you can always do something, just that little teeny tiny touch better, or change something, or learn something, or improve, or become more efficient, or whatever, right? So with that in mind, some people on their consciousness journey go, oh, I've learned everything I need to learn. I don't need to learn anything else. I don't need to change anything else. I'm all good. I'm highly conscious. I'm highly aware. And it's like, when I hear that, I go, oh, hello, ego. And I laugh, because there's still so much more. And the more you do, the more you realize there's more to do. Because it's not just this lifetime that you're dealing with. It's all of your lifetimes. It's all of your ancestral stuff. It's all of your spiritual stuff. There's so much to do that even if you started working on this stuff from birth, you'd still not be through it all when you hit 70, 80, 90 years old. So hence the reason. Victim consciousness is the card. So while you're away and doing some really lovely work on yourself, this is the card that is asked to come through for you. Stop blaming others and take responsibility for what you are creating. It's easy to think that life is unfair and point a finger at others. If you hear yourself saying, life is unfair, bad things always happen to me, I'm not good enough, nobody cares about me, why me, I can't do what I want to do, and so on, you are losing your power, nourishing your victim aspect and ascertaining your place in the victim club. Your inner victim can stop you from moving forward by creating dramas, making you judge others, telling you that you don't deserve better, and keeping you stuck in a financial rut. You need to build your internal confidence, self-worth, and courage. Get out of your comfort zone and work on expanding and growing in all areas of your life. The light side of the victim archetype is the victorious part, which can help you to hold your power without getting angry and attacking others. It can also assist you to create healthy boundaries and act from a place of honesty, integrity, compassion, and love. So your action for this one is to visualize your inner victim. Ask to be aware when you are acting like a victim, and then ask your inner victim to show you how you could behave in a more empowered way. How do you require to think, feel, and act to be empowered? On a daily basis, ask yourself, am I acting from an empowered, victorious perspective or a victim perspective? Okay. So that's something that would be really good for you to integrate, is your victim's shadow side, so that then you can be in balance with your victorious side. And I know your victorious side is there. It's very, very big. There's still some little shadow sides there that are asking to be seen and heard, though. Okay, so take that opportunity, have a look at it. I know it's confronting. Honestly, I do. I really do. And there might only be a smaller, lesser degree of it because you have been doing the work and you are doing the work and you're freaking amazing. And that's the card that came out. Okay. Oh my goodness. And hope is for you too. Apparently, I didn't mark the card. I shuffled. Hope. Just keep having hope in your heart, okay? And I know that you've got a big, beautiful something that you're creating. There's an energy there, but there's also a lot of empty. It's like it's waiting to be filled up with your sparkle. And perhaps it's this victim consciousness that is keeping you separated from your sparkle to some degree. So it's time. It's time. Okay. Thank you for your donation, Marit. I'm so super grateful for you, and have fun with the hotel and then the cabin at the lake. Oh, that sounds like absolute bliss to me. Enjoy. Absolutely enjoy the living heck out of that one. Okay. Interesting question. So she is one of the few remaining. Yes. Must be the masculine in me making such a journey. And in you, yeah. Well, yeah. My masculine side ran the show for a really long time, and that was in a big way because of, as I said earlier, how I saw females working in like the examples, the role models of the females in my life. It made me shy away from my own femininity and my own feminine side. So when I have had those moments where I've been completely humbled by life, and it has enabled me to actually lean into my feminine side. I don't recommend having to be completely humbled by life. I don't recommend it. It's not fun. But in those moments, that's actually when the most special people have come into my world. And like they're still long-term friends that I've had for over 20 years. And they still remain friends. We might not talk all the time or anything like that. But certainly my most dearest friends and the ones that I do speak to often, they have popped into my world at the times when I've been more in my feminine, whether through choice or through life, making me go. All right, let's see who's next. That was very Kiwi, wasn't it? Ooh, cool. Hello, Euros. That's so cool. That one. So Nella is next, and then Emmy. Okay. But first, I'm going to just tackle this question here with Catherine, and then I'll come back to you guys. So this is a fabulous question, and I would love to know if anybody else in who is watching at the moment has any thoughts. And sorry, ADHD brain. Okay, I got to kick in my OCD brain for just a second. Sophia. Okay, cool. Thank you. PayPal name is different. So would you prefer Sophia or would you prefer Emmy? You just let me know. I don't care which way. You let me know. So upgrades and downloads. So generally, downloads can happen all the time. They can happen randomly. You can get them in your dreams. You can get them when you go out in the sunshine. You can get them from a tree. You can get them from Mother Earth. You can get them all sorts of times. Downloads can also happen when you are going through an upgrade. So there are times when I've done like big, deep regressions and I've gotten the downloads of different things. So it downloads is the information that from where I'm sitting in this space right now. So this is a concept that has come to my awareness and it has been confirmed, but in two different forms, okay, from two different lines of information. So I'm like, these two lines are not related at all. Like they're not even from the same schools of training or anything. They're just two separate things. And so for Melinda, she knows what I'm talking about. So we've got the Sophia code over here. We've got the hypnotist journey to Avalon, right? So that's the two books that I'm thinking of, but I have had that's more recent like things, but I've also had it confirmed in others, like Dolores Cannon's work specifically. So what we have is we have our body here, we have our higher self, and then we have our oversoul. So the oversoul is the part that we don't tend to talk about so much. My awareness is that your Akashic records are with the oversoul. All right. So the oversoul is like where everything has been funneled up to. It's like the crispest and the clearest architect of what you are meant to be doing. It is you. You are your oversoul. It's not God. It's not a guide. It's not the angels. It's not Sophia. It's none of that. It is you in your purest, most developed, highest of consciousness form. And then after that comes your oversoul. So your oversoul's at the top, then your higher self. Your higher self is like your foreman, and your foreman is the one that is managing and assisting and helping with all of your lifetimes. It's also the part of you, remembering it's all you, okay? It's the part of you that helps to funnel those downloads. It's like, it's that little bit of information that helps to keep you moving forward. It helps you to move in a different direction. It can also be downloads of information for a specific purpose, a job, something like that. So if you've got a job like as a psychic, for example, a psychic healer or a psychic connector or something like that, a medium, before you go and have a session with someone as a healer, you'll get downloads of information in relation to those people. For me, there are times when I'll get downloads of information before I head to even my cleaning clients. And sometimes I'm consciously aware of it, sometimes I'm not, because when I'm at work, I'm trying not to be healing as such, but it happens anyway. So I try not to resist and react to it anymore, because that's a new thing that's come into my world. Upgrades are literally like your body, your energetic body systems are shifting and changing and moving. So points of views, belief systems, the way your cells work together, the energy that runs through your body, those things can all be shifted and changed during an upgrade. Releasing points of views and belief systems, which all have energetic charge to them, that gets released. And then it goes back to Mother Earth or Father Sky or the air or your bits and pieces around you to be moved and shifted around, because energy never really dies. It just gets transferred to other things. When we are experiencing a lot of trauma or traumatic things, we store those trauma as energy cells, energy pots, if you like, or energy bubbles, and they get stored in our bodies in different places. If you've had a lot of stuff where stomach, maybe you hold a lot of weight in your tummy, it's a big sign that you've actually had a lot of trauma from your young years, your formative teenage years through to your 20s, and maybe even slightly into your 30s as well, but more so, early 20s through that time, 18 through to 20, maybe even a little earlier, where you didn't feel like you could speak up. You didn't feel like you had the confidence to do stuff like that. So you hold on to those energies into your stomach area, which of course can then also impact on your back, your lower back, feeling unsupported. So then you may have some lower back issues. When you upgrade, that energy gets released. And an upgrade can happen after a healing session. It can happen because your higher self is like said, right, we've got to do a big, huge spring clean out now. Here you go. And if you're not super aware, or you haven't thought to ask, truth, is this an upgrade? And it's like, if it's light, you go, oh shit, is that what that's about? Okay. And then you can handle it from a different perspective. Because an upgrade doesn't really require too much more than an acknowledgement that it's happening, and then nurturing your body so it can let that go with a lot more ease. Doesn't often require medical intervention. to be honest. It's like, just let your body do what it needs to do. I hope that answers your question, Catherine. Upgrades tend to be shorter spans of time and less frequent. Downloads can happen all sorts of times. During an upgrade, not during an upgrade. It's information. And depending on what you require in your day-to-day living, that can be you specific. It could also be for other people. Okay. Thank you, everyone, for listening to that little TED Talk. All right. Okay. Okay. So you got a job in the hotel. I never applied. Okay. But I still didn't sign anything. On Monday, I should. I feel it would not be a good decision. I made it on old patterns. Can you check what the pendulum or cards want to say? What can I expect? I think it's not the right time and not according to my priorities. I was a bit low and I don't like making decisions in that mood. What an interesting question. A very interesting question. So basically what you're telling me is that you're not sure if you should really actually keep this job or not. This hotel job. So let's have a look. What will it create for you? Let's do this one. The Green Adventurine. Good night, Melinda. Hope you have a good one. Yes. Exciting week ahead. Good old full moon. Get your crystals out. Make yourself some full moon or moon water. Okay. Truth. Show me a no. Thank you. All right. So truth. What will it create if Nella stays with the hotel job for now? Truth. What will it create in 1,000 years if Nella turns down the hotel job? Interesting. Truth. What will it create in 1,000 years if she has this job at the hotel for now? Truth. What will it create if she continues to look for another job that is more in alignment with her priorities? Yes. Cool. Truth. What will it create? Sorry, truth. Does Nella know with absolute clarity what her priorities are? No. So, Nella, what you just saw the pendulum there saying is, yes, please take this job. Take this hotel job for now. It's not your forever job, but it's a for now job. Use it to the best advantage, because it's a hell of a lot easier to get to a different job if you're actually already in one. And potential employers don't actually like it when they see that you're unemployed, or in between jobs, as they like to say. And I think that is the same worldwide. They'd much rather hire somebody who's already working, is doing the thing, blah, blah, blah. Otherwise, you seem, I think it might be, yeah. Yes, but I studied to uni. It's okay. It's okay. Your job, the job that is more an alignment for you, is to come after that one. Okay. That's what I'm seeing at the moment. And yes, exactly. What are the things that you have to really nail down, though, is what are your priorities? What are your values? Have you ever heard about, is it in here? No. Yeah, exactly. It's a transition position. It's something to give you a little bit of money, a little bit of, a little bit of financial security for now, a little bit of freedom, a little bit of breathing space, and keeps you in your work ethic as well. It's like customer service and all that sort of stuff is always good. It's always good to have those skills brushed up on, and just keep them going and flowing, because I tell you what, customer service is not easy. But at the same time, if you can master customer service, you will find your working life into your later years so much easier. And whatever you've studied, whatever career you're choosing to go into, if you've got fabulous customer service and that is your priority, then you will forever have very loyal clients, however that looks in the future. Okay. Here in Australia, we have, it's a bit of a mixed bag when it comes to customer service. But I can tell you, my clients love me because they know that I prioritize them when I'm with them, and they love it. And yeah, it's about care and consideration of the people, and that's what stands out, especially if you've got people like that. If you live in a society where customer service isn't seen as such a big priority. Worked also in a hotel, more higher, 7 years experience already. But in terms, I've been working in customer service since I was, actually working since I was 15, being paid. And how old am I now? A little bit older than 15. That's a cool number. 33. So I've got over 30 years experience in customer service, and it shows. People fucking love it. So yeah, keep tapping into that. Keep tapping into that. Because, man, I've seen people out there in the field where it's just like, it shocks me. I'm like, how can you think that that's okay? All right. So do the hotel job. Get clear on your values, though. Now, the book that I'm going to suggest for you is by Dr. John Demartini, and it is called The Values Factor. It is an excellent, excellent book. And I think you can go onto his website, The Values, or Dr. John Demartini. And that one, you can do a quiz. I think you have to like maybe put your email address in there or something, but they're not scammy people. They're not scammy, like use your information for horrible things. So you can trust them on that one. And the lovely thing about finding out your values is that you can then see how your life has worked up until now with the values you haven't actually identified, and also see how you can work the ones that are requiring to be a little bit stronger to help you succeed in life to relate to the ones that you've already got. All right. Okay, hang on. I'm not going to, I'll just. So truth, will the boss at the hotel be honoring of Nella? Okay, I'm getting there might be some little mini wobbles near the beginning, but it'll settle down and you guys will get your flow. All right. So don't be too put off if things seem a bit wobbly at the start. It's just they're just trying to suss you out, figure out your flow. So you'll be okay. Just take a breath. If things feel like, oh, where did that come from? Or if they've had to correct you with maybe the ways that they do things as opposed to how you might have done them in the past for other people. Like every company has a different culture, and every work, like even if you work for the same company but at different branches, every branch has their own culture. So it's not always the same. So yes, I get the boss is fine. There might be just a little bit of a wobble right near the beginning for you. Okay. Oh, my hair is just driving me nuts today. Oh, thank you, Terry. I love you too. All right, and let me get your yummy card. Let's see what your yummy card is. They decided to start spreading themselves out. He is handsome. Let's face it, a lot of people who are in the hotel industry are quite good-looking people. Interesting. The word you got here out of the yummy cards is purification. So what I'm getting with that is if you are a person who drinks alcohol, don't turn up drunk. Don't turn up hungover, and that will be a problem for you. All right. If you are going out for drinks with the co-workers, be mindful of how much. Because what I'm feeling there is that there might be a little bit of a culture of gossipy. And if you say things out of turn, yeah. You might get yourself into a little bit of trouble there. So yeah. Yeah, so just be mindful. Like if you want to sort of be a part of the crowd, be very mindful of how much you drink. Okay. Yeah, watch for the gossiping. Do not. Yeah, I mean, God, I work for a company now that is an awful lot of males. And I tell you what, I call them all the bloody gossip hags because they are. They're a bunch of bloody gossip hags. I think it's just whenever you get a lot of people together, there's gossip. Just is what it is. So, yeah. Alrighty. So thank you, Nella. Thank you for your question. Thank you for your donation. Super duper grateful for you. Yes, I think it will be good. Yes, take the job. It's an interim space for you, and keep doing things that make you feel good. Get very clear on your values, and yeah, you'll be right. This will be a fabulous step forward. Okay. Give yourself a little bit of financial freedom. Oh, darling, I appreciate you. I appreciate what you've given. Thank you so much. Okie dokie. So we've got Sophia now. Okay, let me go back. Doo-doo-doo-doo. Okay, Sophia. Okay, cool. Sophia, darling, what was your question specifically? You said something about a love reading. Okay. Yep. What do you mean? Am I closing the reading? Yeah, Nella, you're done, darling. You're all good. You're sweet. I've got Sophia now. I'm waiting for her. There we go. Cool. There we go. So, Sophia, let me just rock and roll with some runes. Oh, I feel like I just lost one. Yep, I did. All right. I could do one more reading. I am kind of starting to get a little tired. Okay. That's the best start, Sophia. Friends, but not expressed feelings yet. Okay. Possibility of relationship with this person she has in mind. Just give me a moment. We've got some rooms to choose. Oh. so fun because Sophia, your team is quite loud in my ears right now. So I'm going to ask you while I'm looking at this last one. How often do you speak to your spirit team? How often do you connect in with them? Okay. Because normally when they're really super loud like that, it's because you don't speak much and you don't ask for their awareness around stuff very much yourself. You ask other people. But they were just like, sometimes it's because it's a new connection to me. And they can get very excited because, of course, then they get to hear it. You get to hear a different perspective. So interesting. Maybe not in the way I need to. Okay. The question is, you talk, but do you listen? Because that might be what they're after, you know. All right, let us have a look. What is it that you require to know about this potential, the potential of this relationship changing from friends to intimate? So this is a lovely yeah, see, that's why they were like in my ears, because they're like, oh, somebody's listening to me, yay. It's so funny because back in when I was still a little newbie to all of this world, I went to a psychic fair, and it was like, I think it might have been my very first one that I ever went to, and it was after my dad had passed away, and I'd actually taken a necklace that my sister had found for me, and she gave it to me. And I took it. There was actually two of them, and I took them, and I went and saw this lady, and she's like looked at one and gone, "That's nothing. That was just something he picked up as a trinket." This one though, and I'm like, oh, okay. And she goes, man, he is so loud in my ears right now. And I'm like, really? She's like, yeah. It's like, there's others that want to talk to you, but he's just like gone bowling on through. It's like, get out of my way. I want to talk to her. And that's a little bit what it's like sometimes when I'm on the receiving end now. It's like sometimes they just either the whole team comes through and it's just like wah in my ears, or it's like one person will come through. It's hilarious. And whenever it happens, I think of that story with my dad, and it's often a really beautiful thing. But yeah, it's time to start listening, not just talking to them. All right. So your first rune. Okay. So what we have here, let me just double check I've got it the right way. Yes, I do. Cool bananas. Is this one here. Okay. And this is Iwas, and it is to do with stability, patience, perseverance, endurance, personal power, strength, and initiation. So this is to do with your current and past. So right now, what I'm getting with this in relation to your relationship with this person is it's very stable. It's a wonderful friendship. And you guys have gone from strength to strength in relationship and friendship. And it's a space where you both feel in your personal power space, like you feel like you listen to each other, you encourage each other, and it's a really good space that you have with each other. And with this, your team is like really yelling at me in my ears. So I'm gonna ask them to just dial it back just a little bit. You can feed me specific words, would be really helpful, rather than just all the energy at once. All right. So by the way, if you feel your ears ringing, that's your team trying to talk to you, by the way. And that they're actually not just talking to you, they're yelling at you. So yes, you can ask them to just slow it down. You can ask them to just let the words flow more gently, and then you'll be able to hear them. All right. So in relation to this relationship with you and this person, yes, it's a fabulous friendship. Absolutely fabulous friendship. And for that, it's like something to be nourished and nurtured regardless. Okay. So whatever the rest of the reading is, I don't know yet, haven't looked. But initially, this is a fabulous start. Okay. So let's have a look at your opposing forces / issue. Okay. All right. So what we have here is the Kane Awes. This is from the Freya's 8. And this one here is to do with creativity, awakening, growth, opening, illumination, self-knowledge, and vision. So it's the vision. Okay, cool. One thing that might be a bit of an opposing force or an issue here is trying to see and being a bit afraid of what if it doesn't work out and not being able to like see that it's almost being too scared to try, because it's like there's a possibility there that it might be really good, but you know, being friends is one thing, being intimate partners is another, and like, yeah. So just remember that they've already seen you, and you're good, you're bad, you're ugly, and you're awesome, depending on how long you guys have been friends for, right? So try not to sit too much in the fear, because it's not going to help you. All the fear is going to do is actually create the fear. Now I know why I heard that story. That's funny. All right. So I was talking to somebody 2 weeks ago now, and they were telling me how they were friends. It was a male. They were friends with this lady for 4 years before they got together. He said he's now with his absolute best friend in the world, and they've been together 1.5 years as a couple. And he said he is so grateful every single day that he gets to wake up next to his best friend. That's something you needed to hear. Okay. Alrighty. And the only reason why I know that you needed to hear that is because that story came to my mind as I was talking to you. Yes, I think both of us are scared. Yes. All right. So if you stay on your current path, okay, where you just stay friends, let's see what that looks like. This one is part of Tyre's 8, and we've got humanity, mankind, awareness, the self, knowledge, collective consciousness of humanity. Basically, even if you just stay friends, everything is going to be great. You're still going to be amazing friends regardless. Okay? If you stay friends, if you don't stay friends, you'll be like, as in, if you don't stay as an intimate couple, everything is going to be great. You still be friends. Even if you give it a go to be intimate with each other and you try it out for, I don't know, 6 months, and you could kind of go, actually, nah, you can still be friends. My second ex-husband, he's one of my dearest friends. Do I wish to be back with him as an intimate person? No, because we're just friends. But we were together as an intimate couple, as husband and wife for a portion of it, for 4.5 years. So it's absolutely possible. Did we have to have some time not talking to each other? 2 years? Yes. But that's okay. Sometimes that has to happen. All right? So regardless of what happens, you guys will still be friends and everything will be A-okay. Right. Let us move forward to, okay, what if you guys decide to have this lovely little relationship? We've got, what will your sacrifices have to be? All right. So this one here is from Huggles 8. And this one is Mouthies. This is the things that you're going to have to give up to be with this person. All right. These are your sacrifices. You're going to have to sacrifice the constraint, resistance, the need, the caution, the delays, and the conflict and the will to overcome. In other words, you're going to have to let go of your fear of the future. All right? So that's what you guys are going to have to do. You're going to have to let go of all of that fear, all of this restraint, all of the holding back, all of that sort of stuff. And you're just going to have to let it go so that you can actually be together. Because if you guys don't let that stuff go, if you guys are sitting there in your fear of like, oh my God, but what happens if it doesn't work out? You're never going to know if it could work out. All right? It's been such a slow burn. I feel like it'll never happen. Exactly. Right? You guys, 2019, that's a long time to be friends. That's fantastic. And I'm sure you and he have been through like all sorts of things since then. That's what, 7 years? Is that right? That's amazing. That's an amazing amount of time to get to know each other. It's okay if it's been, off and on contact. The best friendships are. But yes, you guys are going to have to get rid of the fear of the future. That's what you're going to have to sacrifice. Love it. Love it. Ooh. All right. The outcome possible. If you choose, if you take that brave leap and actually just give it a fucking go. We have here is Tyres 8, and this is Ing, which is the earth god. And the associations with this one, you're going to love it. It is fertility, gestation, internal growth, and new life. I haven't memorized these at all, as you can tell. I'm still working with them. Still practicing. And I can honestly tell you that I couldn't have picked this better if I tried. So as that'll be why your team is being so bloody loud, because they're like, please hurry up, just do it already. We're fully behind you. Okay, so let me just see if I can tune in with them a little bit more specifically. Yeah. All I'm getting from them is just a lot of positive, lots and lots and lots of positive. They're like, we're here behind you. Yes, please go do it. Yes. So, I mean, I'm sure over the last 7 years, at some point, you guys would have talked about all the things that you could possibly talk about as friends. And the beautiful thing is, you have been friends. Okay. I once expressed a while back and he ran and we ignored it, kept friendly. So now I'm scared and waiting for him to make no. Give up the frightened. Ask your team to help you. Okay. And the way that you can do that is, it's not about overriding his free will or anything like that. It's more about encouraging him to have faith and confidence in a positive outcome. And you might have to be the running force on that one. And I mean force in an encouraging way, like just yeah. I hope you understand what I mean by that. But anyway, it all looks very, 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 very positive. And yes, you're going to have to let go of your fears. You both are. But it's all good. It's all good. And you can ask your team for a little bit of help. You say, team, can you help me with this situation? And they will go, with your permission, they will go. They'll go talk to his team. And they'll say, hey, how can we help these two? And his team will go, right, let's get in there. And they'll start nudging him in his dream space. They'll start sending him images of you. They'll and you might actually, if you start listening a little bit more closely, the shower is a really, really, really good way of listening to your team. Water, being in or near water, is a fantastic conduit for being able to listen to your spirit team. That's why we always end up with the best ideas while we're sitting on the toilet, because we're near water. So, or out in nature, obviously, is another spot where it's really, really good. But yeah, and just have those gentle conversations, and maybe you might have to make the first move on that one with a gentle touch. And it's like a touch that is slightly different from just a friendly, punch on the elbow or on the shoulder or whatever. And it's like, instead it's just a little, like, as you hand him a cup of something and you just touch hands for a little bit longer. And he'll be like, that little puppy dog thing. Ocean is okay, but sometimes it can be a little bit noisy. Lakes are better. Tenderness is your word. So I absolutely get, be gentle, but at the same time, let go of the fear. Okay? Because the fear will hold you back from being able to even encourage him to take those steps. You can do a lot in subtle ways as a lady to let it be known that you are open to the possibility. Okay? We don't have to be coming at them like a bull at a gate, even if they do say, oh, I don't notice the signs, I don't know how to read the signs. Nah, that's bullshit. Of course they do. So they just don't want to sometimes. So enjoy. And remember that no matter what happens, you guys will still be great friends. Okay? No matter what. Whatever happens. No problem, Sophia. Thank you so much for trusting me with such a beautiful, delicate little moment in your life. I'm so honored. Thank you. That was so lovely. Alrighty. Let me just double check my little things. Make sure I've grabbed everybody. Yay! Cool bananas. Alrighty. And don't worry, Nella. I did just see there was one more from you. All right, Nella, what was it that you wanted to ask, darling? What was your question, my dear? Okay. Initially, I'm just getting that there's some there's some past life stuff there that you are requiring to heal. Which ones? This one's okay. So let's have a look. So what does it bring up in you when you either dream or see his picture and things like that? What comes up for you? What emotions? Is there a twang there? Is it like, do you go into la la land? Is there anything? Sometimes I laughed after waking. Is there our dreams are funny things because they're a way of processing, and occasionally there's just like a little bit of darkness or some shadow aspects that require to be healed, or maybe even past life regression stuff. Maybe he's thinking of you and that's sending out and pulling on the cords that you guys created when you were together. That doesn't necessarily mean it's a good thing, but it's also something to be aware of. If you don't do nostalgia, sometimes so mixed, my friend died, so I was triggered, but I dreamed before positive. Yeah, okay. So let's have a look and see. I've got a couple of cards that have come out for you. Which one first? This one? Nope, the other one first. Okay. Interesting. I never thought these cards would come out so often, but they do. And I'm quite happy about that. So this is the Deadly Apothecary ones, okay? So the card that came out for you in relation to this moment where you're sort of dreaming of them a little bit and you're sort of reflecting, I think, and processing. So we've got the Monk Shot, which is around witchcraft. Yes, you definitely require to do a cord cutting and root removal process. So the energy of this is poisonous, pernicious, and paralyzing. The other names are Aconite, Devil's Bane, Queen of Poison, Venus Chariot, and Wolf's Bane. The traditional medicinal uses in folk remedies, it was used to create a soothing topical salve for muscle and nerve pain. And magical and historical uses. It is so called because its strange flowers resemble the hood of a medieval monk's cloak, and it is associated with Hecate, the goddess of witchcraft and magic. The poison. The uncomfortable emotions Monk Shot highlights are loneliness and censure. It brings up feelings of not belonging, being victimized, misrepresented, and misunderstood. Monk Shot carries memories of a time when witches were burned at the stake for possessing powerful secret knowledge, for being too other. Associated with the Hermit card in Tarot, it portends to a time of solitude and reflection. The antidote. Monk Shot must hide away from the maddening crowd to rest, decompress, and recharge. They can use this insular time to go deep within and find out who they truly are. While leaning into nature, into the nature of a hermit, monk, or wise woman or witch, it is a perfect time to focus on study, self-development, and connecting with the higher self. This is a slow time, crystalline, icy, and wintry. The judgments of others do not matter. It is the perception of yourself that matters. Monk Shot knows in their heart who they are and that their actions are pure. All right. So what I was getting as I was reading this is that top part where it's the poison. These memories are kind of poisoning you at the moment, and you have to let them go. You have to let him go, as in to, and that's why it's coming up in your dreamscape, is that it's trying to process. So specifically what you require to do is to do a cord cutting and root removal process. I do them in my private sessions. I don't do them in a session, another space like this. It's something that's requires to be done privately. I'm not sure if you know how to do that sort of stuff. But what it does, and the way that I do it, is that you can't just cut the cords. You've got to do the root removal. You've got to do the other parts of the process, where it's like there are some people, even Ina Segal says cord cutting can be quite dangerous. And I would agree. If it's not done properly, if it's not done to completion, if you haven't included the other parts of the process like I do, then it will, number one, not work completely, and can leave you quite open to them coming back into your space and creating harm for you moving forward. Okay. And I'm not saying that this previous person harmed or hurt you, but they are an ex for a reason. And there is stuff that's coming up for you to cleanse and clear on. And maybe it is as simple just doing the cord cutting root removal process. Right. And the other card that came out for you in relation to this, and perhaps it's in relation to dating at all. Also with that one, that monk shod one, I got for you for your new job, be very mindful and make sure you're, as in be mindful of who you're around, because there was that point where it was talking about having time to decompress. You're going to need time to decompress after work, okay? And that doesn't mean with alcohol. All right, just saying. This is also really important for you moving forward into what you're doing now. Take off your mask or masks. Stop trying to appear different to who you really are. It's time to take off your mask and be the real you. You cannot get the love and attention you are craving by pretending to be someone that you're not. Why are you so frightened to be honest with yourself and others? Do you feel that you will lose friends and opportunities by showing others your imperfections, fears, and vulnerabilities? Are you constantly doing things to please others, even if doing this does not work for you? This card indicates that you require time to get to know yourself and what is important in your life. What are your values? Like I said before, you will know that you are evolving when other people's judgments of you no longer impact you. If you have an incredible talent, believe in yourself. Don't hide your greatness because others feel envious or resentful. Remember, every great leader had people who loved them and believed in them, as well as those who doubted and disliked them. All right, so your action, and I'm going to read this one out. We are at 3 hours and 8 minutes. Okay, so when the show is done, if you want to come back and re-listen to this bit again, you can. Take a few deep breaths and focus on your body. Reflect upon which areas in your life you are wearing masks and not being authentic. Think of different situations that make you feel vulnerable. Imagine taking off the masks that you wear and speaking honestly with kindness to a particular person who intimidates you. Take back your power. Give yourself permission to be real and say what you mean from a place of gentleness and compassion. Okay? I get that. I totally do. So, me being in this space with you guys right now, this is the real me. When I go out, because I can be my spiritual self, my metaphysical self, my funny self, a little bit of a sweary self. I can be, I can just be me. and to be quite honest, I love the fact that you guys enjoy it. I love it even more that I don't really mind if you don't. It's like, okay, so if nobody turned up today, if nobody was here, all right, so I'll do a group reading and a meditation and I go home. I'm already home. Right? So it really doesn't bother me. Whereas at work, I don't show this side of me so much because I'm there for a different purpose. I'm still obviously professional and I have a high work ethic, and I do that, and I be that. But more and more, I find that this side of me is coming out, even at work. But I'm mindful of who can hear it as well. And that's a part of who you are. You know, it's kind of like, on a more simple term, if you've got a friend who has kids, and then you've got a friend who doesn't have kids, the conversations that you have with your friend with the kids is going to be completely different to the friend without kids, who's more, you know, they might be hardcore into, I don't know, rock climbing. So your conversations are going to be completely different with, say, somebody with a newborn baby and a toddler than it is with somebody who hasn't got any kids and is interested in rock climbing and mountain biking. And I don't necessarily see it as masks. It's more about being honoring to yourself, but also being honoring with the people you're with, talking in the language that they can hear, that they're open to. You guys, you're pretty open to everything with me, because I'll go wherever you wish to go. Within reason, of course. There are boundaries and limitations. But yeah, does that make sense? So when you're at work, be professional, be friendly, be lovely, and have that good high work ethic. But be you. Please don't do the, hi, how's everything going today? Is everything all right for you in your room today? Oh, that's so good to hear. Because it's not genuine. It grates people up the wrong way. I hate that. Anyway, hope you had fun with that reading. Enjoy. And as far as the dude goes, he's just showing you the dreams and everything are showing you where you require to release some energy from that past relationship. Maybe you've got another relationship coming forward, but you've got to clear out some of the old clutter. Okay? I don't know that it matters. And just answering your question there, do you feel he is good? I don't know that it matters. What's more important to me is that you're good, that you're doing well for you, and that you're healing, and, you know, that comes under the not my circus, not my monkeys. My tea is gone. All right, let me just double check what is happening, because I just heard a whole bunch of things go. Okay, what's happening over there, please? Okay. Cool bananas. 9 a.m. Right, with that in mind. Let's hide that one. Oh, oops. That one and that one. Yay! Now, where was that? There it is. Cool. We're going to do our meditation now. And this was from a card from earlier in the evening. So before I do that, thank you, Nella. Thank you for your questions. Thank you for being open to listening and receiving from your messages from your team. And yeah, please take some time for you and work out in the best way that you know how to do all of those things. But there's definitely a releasing process that is required there. Okay. So this is I'm just gonna take that off now. So our meditation tonight will be based on the card, this one here, which was about to learn from family patterns. It's inspired by, and we shall see where we go. Let's bring that up a little bit closer. Alrighty, so if you wish to stay with me and help yourself to, shift some of those old points of views and belief systems that you may have picked up in your childhood or perhaps in another lifetime, whether it be from an ancestral side or from your own spiritual journey, that has been imprinted on you, and you're ready to let some of that stuff go now, we shall do this process together. So I encourage you now to close your eyes, and with your permission, if you say yes, I would also like to take you up to Theta, where we can do this work, and we are completely surrounded by unconditional love, and it's a very, very loving and supportive place. It's super nurturing, and quite often when I finish sessions, I have people saying, "Oh, can we just stay there? That would be really nice." And actually, there's no reason why you can't, except for the fact that you'll be floating, and you've kind of got to be aware that you're going to be floating. And so you kind of got to just make sure you tell your things like your car to be solid, because otherwise you just stay wee and you're spacey, and then people don't see you. And they'll do funny things like bump into you and stuff. So that's why I always bring you guys down out of Theta at the end of a healing session. But safe to say, you can actually stay there if you would like. It feels pretty nice up there, actually. Okay, so if you're ready to let this stuff go, come with me on the journey and let's do this together. Close your eyes. Take a big, deep breath in. And breathing out. I'm going to expand out first. Breathing in, bring Mother Earth energy all the way up. And breathing out, bringing Father Sky energy all the way down. And bringing Mother Earth and the unconditional love all the way up. And bringing Father Sky, the gratitude for everything and everyone all the way down. As you continue to breathe nice and low and deep, becoming aware of your body. Become aware of your cells, your molecules, your blood, your bones, your organs, your skin, your hair, and all the other parts I haven't mentioned. Become aware of your clothing. Become aware of the air around you. Expanding out your awareness all around you, up into the sky and down into the earth, like a big bubble with you in the center. Expanding out your awareness, out beyond the size of the country that you're on, beyond the size of the planet. Expanding out your awareness beyond the size of the solar system, beyond the size of the galaxies, beyond the size of the universes. Big breath in. And a big breath out. Focusing again on your body. Expand out your sense of allowance. Expanding out your allowance beyond your body, up into the sky and down into the earth. And even if you've never done this before, it's okay. Your body, your being, your higher self knows exactly what I'm talking about. So just follow along. You'll get it. Expanding out your allowance, out beyond the size of the building that you're in, up into the sky, down into the earth, expanding out your allowance beyond the size of the country, beyond the size of the planet, beyond the size of the solar system, expanding out your allowance beyond the size of the galaxies, expanding out your allowance now beyond the size of the universes, and now beyond your awareness. Big breath in now. And just as you breathe out, notice how your body completely relaxes. All your internal organs are like taking a big deep breath, a sigh of relief. Because right now, we've hit the dopamine release. And the oxytocin, that's all being released in your system now. And it's allowing any cortisol and any adrenaline running through your system to just take a little back seat for the moment. Just calming everything down. And helping you to be in touch with your higher self, and to a degree your oversoul as well. And within this, you're also very lightly, through your higher self, also tapping into all of your other lifetimes that are all playing out right this moment. So now imagine, just focusing on your body once more, imagine a big, beautiful, bright white opalescent light is shining into your heart, going down your body, down your legs, through your feet, through to the center of Mother Earth, curling around the center of Mother Earth, and then moving all the way back up again. Back up through your feet, through your legs, through your torso, all the way up through the crown, creating a big bubble above your head. Now imagine that you're in that bubble. And now your bubble floats up higher and higher. Through the golden light, through the rainbow jelly light clouds, through the pink misty clouds. And you'll see a big, big opening. And streaming through that opening is the bright white opalescent light. Please move through that opening now until you're completely surrounded by the bright white opalescent light. Taking a big deep breath in. And as you breathe out, the bubble around you dissolves. And you finally understand that that bright white opalescent light is unconditional love. And it is all around you. It is infinite. And there is literally no rules and no boundaries on it. It is there for you to be nourished and nurtured and healed. It doesn't care what you've done, what you've said, what you've thought. Not now, not in the past, and not into the future. It doesn't care. It's just there to love you. Unconditional love in its purest form. Big deep breath in, bringing that unconditional love all the way through your body. And then breathing out, letting any tension remaining just go. Let it leave your body so we can set for the next healing. Now imagine that you are sitting comfortably. Maybe you're sitting on a big, big log. And there is a big purple fire that burns in front of you. Watch the colors as they dance around, the shades of purple. You might be able to feel a little of the warmth, or maybe it's cold. Maybe it's a cold fire. Whatever it is for you is absolutely perfect. And now think of a person in your family who has similar patterns to you. It could be someone who has passed over or is still alive. Now invite them to sit next to the fire. And ask the wise aspect of them to share through thoughts, words, images, or feelings why they hold on to past pain. Be open to receiving this information. What can you learn from their sharing? What aspects can you recognize in yourself that you took from that member of your family and are now ready to release and transform? Using your hands and feeling in your body where those emotions, aspects, points of views, belief systems, all those implants, wherever they're sitting in your body, Imagine now with your hands, your physical hands, pulling them out of your body and place them into the purple fire. Any of those old, dense energies, and watch it metamorphosize into new strength, belief, and whatever qualities you require. Keep moving those old energies, those implants out of your body. All those emotions that you've picked up from that family member and taken them on as your own, pulling them all out of you now. They could be sitting in your eyes, your ears, your brain. Let's pull them all out from your throat, your voice box, maybe your shoulders, your back, away from your heart, your belly, wherever they're sitting. Maybe you're struggling to move forward in life. There's probably some implants sitting in your legs. Pull them out of your legs. Place them into the purple fire. You might be struggling more with money. That'll be stuff stuck in your right leg. There's stuff, if you're struggling with relationships, interpersonal relationships, that's likely to be your feminine side. Pulling it out of your left leg. Career, that sort of thing. That's your right leg. And where your legs join, at your pelvis, that's also where your purpose lives, of course. It's not in your brain. Just keep pulling all of that stuff out of your body until you feel like it's all done. You might get a big releasing of tears, burping, yawning. All of that is very normal. And now sit in an open position with your hands with your palms up. And all of that energy that you've just placed into the fire, it's been metamorphosized into the strength, the self-belief, self-love, your confidence. All of that is now coming back to you. So that you can know beyond a shadow of a doubt what it means to be just you. Without all of their implants that are no longer serving you, trying to run the show. And it doesn't mean that you don't love your family member. You love them enough to let them be peaceful too. Because in releasing all of those parts to the fire, you're also gifting that family member the freedom to not be tied to your outcomes from an energetic point of view. They can still love you and you can still love them. There's no longer any of that old trauma, that old points of views holding you two together. Now it could be pure and gentle and loving and in the space of vulnerability. Ask that family member now to stand up, and if you're comfortable with it, to give them a hug. Because you now know why they held on to that pain for so long. And now neither of you do. Because in doing this process, you have shown that family member how to let go of their own pain and their own implants. And they may only do it in their dreamscape or at another time, and it's okay, but you have already sown the seeds for them to learn that too. And as you release them now, you feel the love, the unconditional love that's all around you now flowing through you and out of you and beaming out of you like you're a big, beautiful, glowing light bulb. And your brightness and your lightness is just a magnificent thing to behold. And with that, your family member floats away. And the logs, or whatever you were sitting on, and the fire just gently disappears. Beautiful. Take a big deep breath in. Breathing in all that unconditional love all through your body. Oh, feels so good now. Now imagine taking a big zip up your front and just zipping up your energy space and off to the side. Kind of like half an M, up the middle and off to the side. And that just zips you back up again. And now you'll float down from Theta, through the pink misty clouds, through the rainbow jelly light clouds. And as you land back into Earth, and you feel the lightness and the brightness all around you, as well as inside of you, beaming out of you. Smile. And now we'll just ground you a little bit. So you can still feel light and bright and connected to Mother Earth. Imagine that you're standing underneath the bright, beautiful crystalline waterfall, and this water just flows over and through your beautiful sweet body, washing away any other little fragments of energies from this healing today. Sending it out to Mother Earth so she can use that energy for something else. And now stepping out onto the big warm river rock, which has been warmed by Father Sky and Mother Earth coming together so beautifully. Take a big deep breath in. And breathing out. Breathing in, bring Mother Earth energy all the way up. Breathing out, bring Father Sky energy all the way down. Bring Mother Earth energy and the unconditional love all the way up. Bring Father Sky and the gratitude for everything and everyone all the way down. Beautiful. When you're ready, open your eyes. Please have a drink of water now. For some self-care and nurturing, please have some salt with your water. You require the minerals and the electrolytes and things that are within salt in your water. Because when we do energetic healing, the body uses a lot of that. That's why when we do these things, you always feel like going to the bathroom afterwards. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful week to come, and that you get out there and you do something very tasty for yourself. Be gentle with yourself this week. You've got possibly a little bit of challenging stuff coming up around being accountable for your leadership in your life this week. Be aware of that. Enjoy the full moon on Monday. And until I see you next time, be bold, be brave, and be you, my beautiful friends. Bye-bye for now.